So there's good news and bad news. What do you want to hear first? Okay, the bad news. Berm Park will be opening spring of 2022 instead of fall 2021. There's nothing wrong with the physical project, and elevated trail design is right on schedule. But due to factors unrelated to the physical project, we're pushing the opening to spring, and it'll be worth the wait. To put things in perspective, half the country is on fire, the other half is underwater, and everyone hates each other. Getting a free bike park a few months later than anticipated is hardly negative news at all. And best of all, elevated trail design will be returning this spring to prep the ride surface, so everything will feel like new. I know the delay is a bummer, but for a public project during a pandemic, we're still doing impressively well. And as I said, there's good news, which is actually clickbait. The good news is clickbait. Clickbait is the name we chose for Berm Park's longest trail, a trail being funded entirely by Patreon. Since Clickbait was crowdsourced, we figured why not make it visually impressive. This way people from around the world can enjoy it without actually riding it. That makes Clickbait a really appropriate and memorable name. And it starts with a massive wooden feature. Drop in from the trailhead through a canopy of trees, and the first thing you'll see is this wooden platform. Another trail, On the Fly, has a very similar structure which you can huck to dirt if you have enough speed. The down ramp provides a progressive safety net, and this new drop has the same design, but just way bigger, and it sets the stage for the rest of the trail. Because of its length and black diamond designation, Clickbait will give you a lot of opportunities to catch some air. Although these are all tabletops, they're very much similar in size to what you'd find on a trail like A-Line. And while other trails at Berm Park get you acquainted with features like berms, drops, tables, and step-ups, Clickbait ties it all together. And at the request of the patrons, Clickbait also pays homage to Berm Peak. The auger attachment on this excavator makes quick work of giant post holes, which will locate the supports for this structure. See if you can guess what we're building here. In my travels, I've only seen this feature a handful of times. It's called an up box, and this is a truly massive one. Berm Peak also has an up box, but we call it the pucker pad. Basically, you come in with as much speed as possible, launch onto the pucker pad, and skip off of it to clear a gap onto the landing. It's a huge commitment and very scary. In fact, nothing about the pucker pad is safe or intuitive. On the contrary, the up box on Clickbait is not scary at all. In fact, its large size makes it easier. There's also a beeline to go around the up box altogether, but that doesn't make it any less fun. For many riders, this will be the only place they ever see an up box in person. So we wanted to make it as accessible as possible for newcomers. The rest of Clickbait Trail is more of the same. Lots of tabletops, steezy hips, and even an on-off bridge later on in the trail. While the guys are finishing up Clickbait Trail, let's go back up top and check on another trail, High Roller. This green trail starts in a flat area, with a series of progressive rock and wood features to practice on. Then it drops into a section of rollers, rather high rollers. While these are in fact rollers, they can be cleared with sufficient speed. They're much smaller, mellower versions of the tabletops on Clickbait, but High Roller and Clickbait have something in common. They were both paid for by Patreon, sort of. One single patron, Drawer, donated the funds to build High Roller. Drawer credits this community for getting more serious about mountain biking, and now he's paying it forward. If you can go from rolling this trail to boosting it, you can then step up to the intermediate features on the fly. Progressively, you can then build the skill set to ride Clickbait. But not before Elevated Trail Design tests it, to make sure all the trajectories work as calculated. While it's always awesome watching these guys test their work, we still need to do a lap on behalf of the customers. Clickbait starts with the drop, followed by a chicane and a table, which sets you up for the up box. Off the landing of the up box, you have plenty of speed for 2 large tabletops, followed by a big roller and a step up to the on-off. Then a pack of lippy tabletops followed by a step-up finale, which was not yet complete at the time of this recording. It's gonna be nice when this step-up is done. Unlike actual Clickbait, there's nothing misleading about this trail. The sight lines are great, the landings give you generous space, and unlike a video that clickbaited you, you'll want to ride it again and again. We took a vote on Patreon, and it looks like we're naming the drop the Rickroll, which is a pretty genius name for a rollable drop on a trail called Clickbait. As for the up box, it seems like upvote has a clear lead as of this time. None of this would have happened, even the sponsored trails, if it wasn't for our patrons who spearheaded this project. For as little as $2 per month, they're continuing to support Berm Park, and projects to come. Although Berm Park will not be opening until this spring, I still have a lot to show you. And on a more relaxed schedule now, we have a lot more to do. Thanks for riding with us today, and I'll see you next time.